What poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Zay and I'm back with another video. See by today's title and thumbnail, I am back with another DBD video. Today we're going to be using DBD's brand new killer, the Judgement, the best killer in the game, and she has some of the best perks in the game, so let's just jump into it. Her new perk, Lay Waste, is a perfect perk to combine with Call of Brine, and Call of Brine just got buffed, so you can literally hold a gen and hold a map. And one thing about this killer is you don't have to chase, bro. Like, real talk. And by the way, this is a voiceover video. I'm not playing and talking. You're gonna probably hear my voice every now and then in the background, but that's because I clipped this on metal and I just got the gameplay, and now we're showing y'all what I got because I wasn't recording. I was just playing, trying to learn the killer. I haven't been streaming, I haven't been doing nothing of that, so I wasn't trying to, you know, be entertained. I wasn't trying to act like it's a YouTube video, none of that. I was just getting clips, getting gameplays, and that's where we are. And on moments like this, which you're seeing right now, I'm literally playing with this bitch. Like, she can't do a gen because I'm right here, and if I turn around, she goes go and do that gen, like nothing's gonna happen. And I'm already knowing my build is going to protect me because you'll see in a moment a generator will go to get to 70%, and that's what I'll drop chase. So right now I'm just seeing what I can do on certain maps because I haven't played every single map in the game. I have the custom set on random, so when I go play online like I am now, playing against Swifts, playing against random players who are just hopping on, seeing if they can do shit with the Judgement, seeing how the Judgement will be in chase. When I play niggas like this, and that's all these gameplays, these aren't customs by the way, when I play people like this, I'm gonna play around. As you see right here, Tinker goes off, I get undetectable, and then I can just go and throw my beam and I can get people going. This build quite literally protects you. And then when you go up and hit the gen, Lay Waste, if you don't know, it probably popped up on the screen already, but Lay Waste, if anybody's, you know, not paying attention, you new to DBD, or not new to DBD, but like, you know, you haven't really heard much about this killer or her perks, she has a perk that makes it to where every charge, a generator takes 90 charge, so 70%, this is why I ran Tinkerer, 70% is a lot of charges, bro. That's a lot of charges. So for every charge, you knock down 2%, so that's 2, 4, you know, add it all the way up, you know, whatever 70% is for charges, add that up, and that's how much regression the generator is going down by. And I have Call of Brine, and it regresses 90%, or what is it, 50%? It's a high percentage. All the shit's gonna pop up on the screen, bro. Like, I'm really happy that this killer came out, and it's the perfect killer for me, bro, because this killer quite literally fits my playstyle so perfect. I am a pressure killer. I like to put pressure. I like to make people feel worried that they're about to get downed at any moment, like right there. Like, I like to make people not want to do gens. I like to make people want to run around and just waste time and try to figure me out, and it's just nothing to figure out, bro. Like, that's my playstyle. I like to put pressure on people. I like to make sure people aren't trying to get to the end game. I want people to realize, oh, we're 4 hooks down and there's no generators, my nigga. Like, we haven't popped the gen, we need to do something. Somebody go take him, and then I don't take the chase, and then I go after this person and I go get him second hook, and they're just rattled and rattled. I love that shit, bro. And this killer is the perfect killer for that because I don't even have to chase. One thing you don't want to do with this killer is chase. Chasing is quite literally for your own like enjoyment. As you see right here, this killer, I mean, this player has played against it, and they know exactly what to do, like with the beams, and that's just on me. That's just, you know, an error on my end. I could have like, that's what I'm gonna start working on, is like, they can see the beam. That's one thing I don't think about when I play killer. I don't really play survivor and like see what happened, like what the other perspective looks like. But I know now you can see the beam, like the aura of the beam coming to you, and even if that nigga was looking directly at me, it's, you know, you can just walk back. So I have to predict movements, and that's like where it comes in. That's where the beam tech comes in. The skill floor is already there, and I promise you, bro, when this killer comes out, I damn near might give up my P100 chase for Henry the First because I want this killer's icon. She has one of the best icons, I can't lie. She definitely has one of the best icons for P100, so I'm definitely going to P100 grind her. I'm gonna try to be the first person to get P100. Probably not gonna be, because a lot of people just be holding blood points. There's niggas out here with like 15 million blood points still who haven't touched shit. The only thing I wish I did was save my blood points from Jason, because like I said, Jason is just a disappointing killer. I will be dropping a tier list video soon. Jason is not a B tier killer, not an A tier killer. Don't let these people lie to you. His kit is just not as good as other people's kits. That's the problem with it. Also, as you see right here, what I just did, if you can hide the beam with buildings, so build maps with buildings, maps with a main building, maps on the inside, it's really hard to go against this killer. This killer quite literally runs those maps. And as you see here, I'm going to use Call of Brine. One thing I just figured out is that Call of Brine actually works on multiple gens, if I'm not mistaken, because every time I hit a gen, it resets. I don't know if it gets rid of the old Call of Brine on the other gen or if it stacks, but if it does, that is amazing. And like I said earlier, you don't have to chase. You quite literally, like, you don't have to play like me. Like, y'all can watch this video and y'all can see what I'm doing and y'all be like, oh, he's like doing this, he's moving around the map. That if you really want to and you're really good with the beam and you really practice it and you really understand what these niggas are trying to do, you can sit in the middle of the map and control the whole game without moving. And as you see right here, I forgot to mention it, that speed boost that I just got from holding my beam, that is my add-on called or Obsidian Feather, and I'm also running the Scroll of Inquisition, and that makes it to where I get my beam is larger, going like after 1 second my beam goes from smaller than 50% of the regular beam to 100% bigger than the regular beam. So it's easier for me to hit, and it's easier for anybody who plays the Judgment to hit. It's easier for, you know, people, like, you know, it's harder for people to dodge. That's what I mean. And this killer is just like, I don't know, bro, like I'm actually like happy this killer came out, bro. Like, this is a DBD created killer. Well, technically it's a y'all created killer. Everybody who voted on this killer, apparently, I didn't know all of that, the grimoire or whatever, I didn't know about none of that. I just hopped on this game and played the game. I haven't played this game in years, and then I just randomly was like, you know what, let's hop on DBD, and me and all my partners hopped on DBD, bro, and I'm enjoying it. This is one of my favorite games, and I'm happy that I'm making content on it, because this game is really easy to make content on when you really think about it, bro. Right here, see, what I should have did is I should have actually full committed that, but I wanted to get zealous, so I just went in quick mori. Also, the quick mori, a lot of people, I don't know if they don't realize it, but you don't really need to run a red skull. See, me, I'm running a red skull because I like the pressure, I like that. But like, if I have a person 2 hooks and then I don't get them with the beam, but I can get an M1, I'm gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? And right here, like I said, I should have went and chased this so the gen didn't pop, because I do like holding 5 gens. But this person right here, this Aurora, she was actually, you know, competent. She was like, she knew how to play the Judgment. She played it before. And a lot of the time on this game, to be honest, if you're one of those killers who want to like sit here and like try to get games over with quick, you can do that, but you're not going to be sitting here like actually, you know, playing the Judgment correctly, if that makes sense. I'm not saying there's a bad way to play it. I mean, you can play however you want, but the most efficient way to play is just checking spots, holding gens. You don't need to chase. You can just throw your beam across the map. It injures, so you can just do something and you can have fun, bro. Like, no matter what, it's fun. This game is going to, like, not Aurora, what the fuck? The Judgment is going to be all about running around and throwing your beams at people. It's not like Henry, and I've said this multiple times to people, she is a mix of the artist and the first. And what that means is, because a lot of people keep saying that she's not a mixture of Vecna, she's not a mixture of Henry, she's not a mixture of the first, blah blah blah. I don't understand how y'all don't see it. She quite literally is the perfect mix between those two killers. She has a move that you can throw across the whole map. That's the artist. She has a move where you can keep getting it back quick. That's the artist, and that's Vecna. She has a move where you can go into a mode after downing somebody or hitting somebody with your M2. That's Vecna. And then she has the like the little area radius, like the little circle shit. That's quite literally, it's damn near the same size as Vecna's when it gets to, like, when you use this Inquisition shit, it's the same size as Vecna's. The only thing I would say they need to do to make it more like Artist and Vecna, and they don't have to do this because it's an add-on, but it should be base kit. Only thing they need to change, in my opinion, is making Killer Instinct off of near misses base kit. It shouldn't be an add-on, because if it was base kit, it would literally be like similar to Artist. It makes sense for it to be base kit because you can throw the beam and the beam is seen through the whole map. There's no add-ons to remove the aura of the beam, I believe. I don't think there is any add-ons for that. And you quite literally will just, you won't even need it for that long. Just know, oh, you missed. There's a nigga over here though, so go look for him. By the time you get there, he's probably gonna be gone, unless he's in a locker, bro. He's probably gonna be gone though. So, you know what I'm saying? I would just think that would be base kit. It's just simple. I just believe that's like, that should have already been a thing. And the other thing they need to fix, and they need to change, in my opinion, not even just my opinion, they need to change this for like a cert. Like, they need to change this because there's a game breaking glitch in the game. If you're using the feather, I don't know if it's just the feather or if it's just anytime you wind it up, but if you exile somebody and then like instantly try to wind up your beam, the game is going to glitch and you're going to get stuck holding the beam and you're not going to be able to let it go, and you can't M1, so you're literally going to lose the game. It's a free win for survivors, and then I already know they're going to be toxic. I already know they're going to teabag. They're going to realize this is going on, they can't hit, and they're going to be like, oh wow, this is a free game, and they're going to just be toxic and try to hold you in the game for as long as possible to make you quit. So behavior, if you're seeing this, you need to fix that ASAP. And one thing also about this killer, y'all need to stop complaining, bro. Like survivor mains, bro. Like, I play both. I'm not a main survivor. I don't play survivor a lot. I don't really find that shit entertaining. I only play that shit when I turn my brain off and I want blood points, because that's the best way to get blood points, in my opinion. You get faster games. So what y'all need to do, please, for the love of God, please adapt. Because killer mains, I've noticed that survivor mains and killer mains are like the opposite of each other, bro. Like in real life, y'all have like problems. Something is wrong with y'all. You cry over every little thing changed about the game. You cry over this, you cry over that. You don't even run into the shit most of the time, and you cry over this. Like, there's actually survivors complaining that this killer, if you teabag them, you get sin. If you do this, you get sin. Like, you're being toxic and you're complaining that you can't be toxic. Like, I hope y'all realize that y'all need like help. Like, y'all need real life help, bro. It's crazy that y'all actually complain over every little thing, and I noticed it, but I didn't really care. But I noticed that killers are more so laid back. Like killers are more so just calm. They don't give a fuck about anything. If something changes with their perks, they change their perks. If something changes with the way their killer is, they learn how to adapt around it. A lot of people don't give a fuck who play killer. A lot of killers just don't care a lot, bro. Like, they really sit here and just play the game, and they try to enjoy the game. Survivors act like they don't want to play the game, but play the game all the time, and they complain 24/7 about the game that they don't have to play, but they keep playing it. Like, y'all quite literally are like blinded by I don't know what. Like, something is wrong with y'all. But besides that, bro, but besides all of that, we're going to be getting into the full breakdown of this killer, and I'm gonna try to, you know, stretch this out for the rest of the video. If not, then I'm just gonna talk about it. By the way, this is the game where I kind of struggled. By the way, I kind of struggled, and I was still dominating. It's still dominating because this build is amazing. This is the best build for the Judgment. It's gonna be my day one build. I am going to be having multiple builds. I'm gonna do hex builds because you can literally check spots and you can make sure people get off your hexes and you can keep them. This is the best like killer to run hexes on, by the way, if y'all didn't realize it yet. But let's get into the nitty gritty, because there's a lot of things that have been going around about this killer that are just simply not true. And I'm going to be dropping a tier list video soon, because I wanted to drop one before, but since this character was coming out, I wanted to like hold back on it and wait for every single killer to be in the game that I know of. So this killer is SS. This killer has taken the crown from the nurse, and the nurse has finally been dethroned, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion who actually understand how the killer works and actually understand how this is great for a killer who actually learned the killer. And one thing I need to say before I get into this full breakdown, if you think that you can get on this killer and just play the game, you are mistaken. You are, you know, you're going to be lost. You're going to probably lose your game. That, you know, the low MMR first game you play, you're probably going to lose, because this killer is the hardest killer in the game to learn. This killer's beam is harder to learn than nurse's snaps, nurse's flicks, whatever the fuck they're called, right? Blinks, that's what they're called. It's harder to learn because, one, they can dodge, so there's a lot of predicting. With nurse, you just have to pull yourself towards somebody and have to know where you can and can't pull, know how far exactly you're going to get, and that's that. With this killer, you have to know exactly what movement the survivor is going to do. You have to hit the beam precisely. You have to do this and do that. That's why I run Order of the Inquisition, because it makes the beam a little bit easier. But besides all of that, the beam logic isn't easy. You know, you're gonna see this reticle as you see it's going, and that's where the beam is supposed to go, right? Sometimes the beam is not going to go there. I'm gonna just be blatant with you. The beam is not going to go there, especially if you're moving it around a lot. It's not going to go there all the time. So you have to know in certain situations what the beam can and cannot do. You're gonna have to learn that you can and cannot do this with this beam. You're gonna have to learn that you need to use this beam all the time. All the time. This is the main shit. You're not supposed to M1 on this killer. The only time I advise you to M1 is if you're really close to somebody who has sin and you can just get a quick down and exile them. Don't use your beam up close. A lot of people have been like saying this killer is trash, this killer is this killer is that, because you see that beam, see how that little second, it took a little second for the big beam to actually start, and that's not my add-on, that's the base kit. The beam takes a while to start because if it didn't, that would be the most OP shit ever, bro. The most OP shit ever. This killer would have been SSSS if that beam started up instantly, because I wouldn't have to do what I have to do in this game. I would have to slingshot. You would just have to throw the beam. And that is what makes this killer hard to learn, because you're going to have to learn the mechanics. You're going to have to learn every little thing you can and cannot do. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of things you cannot do. And it's not trash because it's not trash at all. You just have to learn the killer. All you have to do is have a brain. You have to realize the killer is a slingshot killer. The killer is a space killer. You will have to back up a couple times. You're gonna have to let the survivor get in front of you while you throw your beam so the thing can activate. If you want a straight shot and you don't want to have to turn around and you don't want to have to slingshot, you don't want to have to cross, there's 3 moves you can do with this killer. You can just throw the beam straight. You can do a cross, which is looking to the left or to the right and then flicking back left or flicking back right, trying to cross the beam across them. There's also the slingshot. You can look back, throw the beam forward, hold it, then turn around and then throw the beam wherever you're looking. That one is the easiest method to use the beam, because when you do that, you can see in front of you, you see exactly what they're doing, and you know that they're going to go this way, that way. You can easily predict their movements. But if you're crossing, they can literally just walk backwards. They can literally just, stop moving if you're trying to, if they think you're going to predict in front of them. There's so much. The crossing is the hardest one. Slingshot is the easiest one. Straights are medium because it depends on how far the person is in front of you. Straights will seem easy if they're the perfect distance. Straights will seem impossible if they're not. It's simple as that. And what I will say, and my advice, is you practice. Please, if you're listening to this and you really want to learn this Judgment character, you need to practice. You cannot go into a game willy-nilly and think you're going to be good because you see everybody else being good on this killer. The people who are good on this killer are actually worked on the killer, actually practiced the killer. The killer is, you need to practice, bro. It's all about practice. Literally, I sat in the customs playing bots, learning how the beam worked for 4 hours. Fuck that. I sat in there for 3 days before I played an online game, and I literally learned the beam. I started trick shotting the bots, and I was like, okay, I think I'm comfortable enough to go to online. My first game on online, I got compliments on how good I was with the killer, and they know that all the other killers aren't that good on this PTB, bro, because I put the work in, and I'm going to be one of the best Judgment killers in this game. I'm going to go for win streaks. I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to do anything I can with this killer because she is now my favorite killer. I like how this bitch operates. I like how she moves around the map. I like the traversal. And by the way, the Obsidian Feather add-on makes me a 7/7 killer. She's the fastest killer in the game, because when you hold the beam, and you see how fast, if y'all just take a look at the bottom left, look, I'm holding the beam right now. I get my speed boost. You can also use this in chase. It's like the Lich's thing where he pulls himself forward and he's just hella fast. You see how fast the beam comes back. You can use that for traversal if you want to chase. You can use that to get around the map, to get closer to a gen. You can use that in so many situations, and knowing how to use that is perfect. It just makes the killer even better. The beams also go through multiple stories. So me throwing it, you see how that gen is downstairs and I'm throwing it towards it. The beam goes downstairs. It goes through all floors. So it's an easy easy way to just hold the map. Like maps like this, you see, this is a game where I struggled, and they are still at 4 gens. There's 2 people, 2 hooks, and there's nothing they can really do, because even when you're struggling with this killer, all you have to do is resort to holding the map, right? That's what you want to do with this killer. You don't want to chase, you want to hold the map, you want to hold gens. And if you really want to do a meta thing, you can go OG Skull Merchant and just hold 3 gens. If you get the perfect 3 gens, you can let them pop the other gens, and you can let them do whatever the fuck they got to do. But once you get that 3, they are cooked. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing, I mean nothing they can do when you have 3 gens, especially if they're close-knit gens, bro, because you will literally get them off. At some point, they would either quit or they will just keep trying the same shit over and over again until they die. Literally, that's all you have to do is hold 3 gens with this killer. And the skill floor is going to be really high. A lot of people are going to get on this killer and they're going to think, oh, I can do this, I can do that, but they're going to give up on the killer because the killer is harder to learn than most killers. It's harder to learn than every killer in the game. I'm gonna just be honest with you that. It's harder to learn than every killer in the game. But one thing I will say, for my controller players, for my Switch players, if there's any of y'all out there, for my Xbox players, for my PlayStation players, for my PC controller players, if you are playing this killer, do not listen to keyboard and mouse players like the DVD Jesus, whatever the fuck that nigga's name is. I don't know, Varda, whatever the fuck. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to all these killers saying, oh, it's impossible on controller. It's impossible on this. You can't do this on controller. You can't do that on controller. If anything, it is easier on controller. I advise you use a controller on this killer because keyboard and mouse is just not it's not efficient to play on this killer. And one thing about it, also, y'all probably like, who is this nigga? He has 240 something subscribers. You know, he's not gonna be right about this. He doesn't know shit about DVD, da da da. I know this damn well. I know a lot about gaming. I've been doing gaming my entire life, bro. I've been playing games my entire life, and I know for a fact if you don't touch a controller for a while, you're gonna feel weird holding a controller again. And I know from first-hand experience, from people who have told me that they don't play keyboard or they don't play controller no more, they only play keyboard and mouse. These players that you watch on DVD and they're on keyboard and mouse, they never have a random video where you look at their controls and they're on a controller. They never say, yeah, let me play controller for this video, because they haven't played controller in a while, and that's for a fucking reason. That's for a reason. That's quite literally for a fucking reason. They cannot play on controller anymore because it's controller fatigue. So they can't do what they used to do on controller because it's just not a thing no more. They suck at controller. They haven't touched a controller in over a decade. So don't listen to people who get on this controller to test that the killer is going to be good on controller and they suck at it, because they haven't played on controller for a long time. Anyways, back to the killer and back to her breakdown. If you want to understand this killer, you need to actually watch people. I advise you watch One Pump Willie. I advise you watch me. I advise you watch anybody who's not like saying the killer is hard, who likes the killer. Anybody you see say they like the killer, watch them, because they're probably good at the game. They probably understand the killer, or not good at the game. They're probably good at the killer. They probably understand the killer, right? So watch them. Watch what they do. See what's possible, see what's not, and then go try it for yourself. If you don't want to watch them, just go try shit. Go into customs, go play bots, and go try shit. When you get into Zealous, your shit is way easier to control the game. The beam gets bigger, the beam launches faster, the beam does everything better when you're in Zealous. And Zealous is the mode you want to stay in. With this killer, she counteracts moves like Shoulder the Burden. Perks like Shoulder the Burden. She counteracts flashlights. She counteracts a lot of survivor perks, because all you have to do with this killer, as you see, I don't have any like blocking perks, gen blocking perks, because you don't need to block gens. All you need to do is hit gens and check spots, bro. Literally. If you want to play this killer, with this killer, you're going to learn and you're going to realize that you don't need to hook anybody. The only time and the only situations, the only scenarios where you will have to hook somebody is if you're missing a lot of your beams, and then the killer, or not the killer, the survivor is hurt, and then you're just sitting there watching the fucking survivor run around and you're like, fuck all that, I'm gonna go hit you, I'm gonna M1 you, and then you have to hook. Even in those situations, you're not going to get flashlight like stunned. They're not going to say it, because they're going to see it down and it's going to blank out of their mind. Like, I'm telling you this now from a person who knows how to read people. In this game, if some shit like a killer who can throw you into a state where you can't save them, you literally, if they're zealous, if they're sin, and you know that this killer gives people sin and a motherfucker goes down, you know there's no saving them. Like, like that right there will make them like, okay, I'm not even gonna go for you. You know what I'm saying? And when you get regular down, they're gonna realize, oh, they just got down. Oh wait, hold on, I can save you, but it's gonna be too late because you already picked him up and you're already running around and you're already gonna get him on a hook. So you have to realize that the thing you want to do in this game is try to get everybody sent. You want to try to exile everybody because it makes a hook state. And I don't know if I said it already because I have deleted a lot of voiceovers, but this killer, when you go into, like, when you send somebody to exile, they are in a mode where they have to just move around and wait until somebody saves them, right? That same mode is the same for all survivors. So they're all going to be in the same room, I'm pretty sure. They're all going to be on the same map. And if you have 3 people in there and you're looking for the last one and you can't find him, if he finds the shrine before you, 9 times out of 10, he's going to, you know what I'm saying? Especially because you don't, most of the time you're not going to know which shrine they went to before, because there's 4 shrines on the map, right? There's 4 shrines, and if you go to a shrine one time, that shrine can't be used the next time. So if you get so good into the killer that you know exactly where all the shrines are on the map, and you go find the shrines and you realize what shrines they're using, you can hold 2 shrines and you can like make people stay in the exile mode the whole time, right? But that's unlikely. So my advice to you is that if you're dropping multiple people, leave one on the ground for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying leave him there forever because that gives him time to heal. That gives him time to come over there and one tap him. Leave him there for a little minute. If you can't find another motherfucker to go tag, then just go back and then put him back in, because how this killer works is if once you put somebody in the exile and you put them in the dimension, you get zealous. You get your mode. You get what I believe is literally like just the best mode in the game, because you get a beam that's faster, easier controlled, and then you make the beam bigger. On top of the scroll of Inquisition, your beam is just going to be too much to go against, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on them. They're going to get worried, they're going to get survivor's anxiety, and they're going to be like scared to do shit, right? So what I say is, you just make sure you're doing the best moves possible in this killer. You just have a brain. I tell people this all the time. Survivors go into this shit without a brain. Like, a lot of people go into this shit without a brain. If you're a killer and you just have a brain, you're going to be fine. So don't get worried. Don't get discouraged about anything. If you down 2 people, just make sure you stay floating around his body. If you can't find nobody else who's like trying to do some weird shit, trying to pick him up, trying to save him, do this, do that, be elusive, blah, blah. You can do a lot of things with this killer, and just make sure you stay in zealous most of the time. If you're in modes where you're like in stunts where you're not in zealous, you're still going to be fine. I just want you to know the best way to play the game is to keep people in exile, because it forces survivors to get off of gens. It forces them to go save their teammates, because if they don't save their teammates, they're going to be at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are also going to DC on this killer. So I'm going to just let you know that now. A lot of people are going to DC on this killer, because this killer is just, if survivors aren't having fun and they aren't doing what they want, you know this already. If you're a killer mate, you know this. If survivors aren't getting exactly what they want, cherry picked for them every time, they're going to cry baby, they're going to complain, they're going to do this, they're going to have a fuss, they're going to go tweet a random dev on Twitter that, hey, this killer is OP, get 5 likes, and then get the buck on with their day and go play more killers like that, right? So what you want to do, bro, is just, you know, make their time a living hell. That's all I'm gonna say. Make their time a living hell. That's every time I play Survivor, that's what I do. I make their time a living hell. I'm not Survivor. Every time I play Killer, that's what I do. I make their time a living hell. So the best way to make their time a living hell on this killer is to be zealous. You know what I'm saying? If you're zealous, it's really hard for them to dodge. It's really hard for them to do shit. It's really hard for them to do anything. So just make sure you keep hooking people in exile. Don't hook people in the fucking actual, you know, the actual hooks on the map. A lot of people are gonna try to run Petrified Oak. I've been seeing a lot of that on the PTB. I don't know why they're doing that. You don't need, if they run Petrified Oak, they're wasting an offering. Like, you don't need to do shit but put people in exile. So you want to make sure your main mode of attack is this beam. If it's not the beam, you're playing the killer wrong. Do not use this killer as an M1 killer. Please don't do it. And there's also more tech. The anti-camp on this killer is not that bad. Like Jason, when you hop out the mode, it makes it to where you can't move for a long time. Like, you're slowed down. The anti-camp on this killer is that the beam won't move. So if you're at a far enough distance for the beam to start moving and you're facing the survivor and you put the beam on the hook, like facing them, and somebody goes to save it, if you let go at the perfect time, you'll get rid of the person's elusiveness and their invulnerability, and you'll get a hit, and then you can just choose who you want to chase. So that's my advice for this killer. This killer is the best killer in the game, and I will be dropping a tier list video soon, and she will definitely be at the top, so spoiler alert. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I love y'all niggas. This is the best killer in the game, and I think nobody will ever be able to top this unless they do some crazy nut ass shit. So I love y'all niggas. No baby the gang, long live Mel, and I'm out, man.